Roxeanne Hardenburg. Is that correct? Yeah.
Correct, yes.
Inflammaging. Inflammaging. It's not a typo, ENTV. Inflammaging. So what is inflammaging before we get going down these rabbit holes?
Right. Well, first off, Amos, thank you so much for having me back and having me on today's interview. I'm really passionate about this topic. So the phrase inflammaging is not a spelling error or grammar error. It's when you take inflammation, which if you have inflammation, the first indicator is pain. So if you have pain in the body, it doesn't matter where it is, what it's from, how long you've had it for. If it keeps coming back, that means you've got inflammation, which is chronic. Chronic inflammation is recurring inflammation. And when you don't treat the root cause that causes the pain, and I'm not talking about taking a painkiller, I did that for 20 years. Painkillers just take the pain away, don't get to the root cause. Your inflammation is still there. And over time, chronic inflammation leads to disease, and age is now being not coined. Age is now being confirmed as a disease in its own because we're aging far too quick. So if you look at individuals from the 1970s, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, they all ate gluten. They all ate all those things and they never had health issues and they lived a lot longer before they passed. People today, studies are showing that teenagers are on prescription medication for diseases, which means that we're aging far quicker than our chronological age. So just very quickly, you get two ages: chronological, what's on your passport, your ID, and then you get biological age, which is the rate at which your cells are aging. So it's called biological aging.
Okay,
so somebody who is chronologically 80 can have a biological age of 40, which means they're keeping the inflammation levels at bay. They're doing everything and anything to keep the inflammation at bay. They don't have disease. They don't have symptoms. They don't have pain. And so they're aging slower. So they could be 70 and they look like they're in their 40s or 50s.
You talked about cells. Your cells are replicating, but let's throw this in there too, because our cells in our body, the oldest cells are 3 months old. Every organ replaces itself. The longest one takes, I think it's 3 months. So
certain organs can regenerate, like the liver, others can't.
Oh, no, regenerate. But no, well, I was just reading something. It was saying there's no cell in our body that's less than 3 months. That's more than 3 months old.
Correct. Your cells have a cycle, yes. However, the lifespan of a cycle depends on the state of it. The cycle, the lifestyle, the cycle of the cell depends on the state of the cell. So if you have a diseased cell, a cell that's not working 100%, it's malfunctioning, it's not taking in the nutrients, which means your ATP level, which is your energy producing, things are not working, you're feeling really rubbish. Your cells are not optimized, they're not performing. And then what happens if they're stem cells, which are the master cells, they make other cells, and they're also the only cell that has the ability to go anywhere in the body, master cells. If they're diseased, you are creating new diseased cells. As a diseased cell will not create a brand new non-diseased cell. So the way to get rid of your diseased cells while stimulating the production of healthy stem cells, master cells, is intermittent fasting. Variational for women, because you've got to do it around your cycle, otherwise you're going to just wreak havoc. A man is on a 24-hour cycle. A woman is on a 30-day, even menopause. You have a cycle, which is the lunar. And if you get that right and you intermittently fast for more than 17 hours a day, it's very easy. We sleep for quite a while, 8, 9, 6, maybe some. Then you just push out your breakfast a bit longer. And beginner's note, if you haven't done this before, please don't try and do it on your own. Get advice first, especially if you're on medication. But when you enter past 17 hours of fasting, you enter into what's called autophagy. So I always like to say, think of Pac-Man. You know, Pac-Man just runs around eating. So autophagy means autophagy, and it means eating yourself. And it doesn't really sound great, but the body has a recycling way. It's the only mechanism, cellular recycling mechanism in the body to get rid of disease cells at the same time as you now eating and stimulating the production of new stem cells so that you're replicating new non-disease cells along the way. And that's how you can go chronological, your biological. If you're diseased and you're sick and you're not well, your chances are your biological age is older than your chronological, and that's how you can then reverse your age.
Okay,
focusing on yourself without losing you.
No,
you can ask.
We're supposed, so that would make sense that the best way to live is to be intermittent fasting every day.
Only if you do it in accordance to your cycle. So a man is on a 24-hour cycle, and it's also not good to do the same thing every day. The body's super intelligent. It'll start going, oh, well, I know what to expect now. So every now and then you want to throw in a feast day. You want to keep your body constantly like, okay, what is coming at me next? Because then it's training, you priming your body. As a woman, do not at all fast the week before your menstrual cycle, because that's progesterone. You want to see, it's a whole thing, but generally the short of the long, if I'm able to do that, is to minimize your fasting when it's going into hormone building. So there's 2 times: ovulation, menstruation. When you're building up to those as a woman, you want to pull back on the fasting. 12 hours is okay. So that's 7 p.m. dinner, 7 a.m. breakfast. So you're still fasting, but you're not going extended. And then when it's day 1 of your cycle as a woman, because a man can do this pretty much all the time, you can do like 1 meal a day. That's OMAD, 1 meal a day. That's a 24-hour fast. That really resets the gut microbiome, gets rid of, it's like, you know, when you have an old device like a laptop or a cell phone, and sometimes you've just done too much to it and it goes, I think you need to reset it to factory settings. Start over. That fasting mechanism has a way to just kind of reset the body and activates a lot of innate built-in healing systems.
Okay, let's
Our
talk
creator thought of everything. Whatever you believe, the human form was created with much thought.
let's talk about that. How well intelligently designed are we?
Wow, that's a fully loaded question, but I can definitely tell you something. I have yet to work with somebody, whether it's a man or a woman, I've yet to give advice and work with somebody that it hasn't worked on, in terms of, well, if you have pain and if you have disease and these symptoms, work it back, because I don't come from health. My background is corporate IT, data analytics, which is why the data works for me. Let's work it back. And okay, great. Do a DNA test to make sure exactly what you're sensitive to, what creates inflammation. Diet-wise, you remove those. That's why the personalization is key. And when you understand what your body uniquely needs at that very moment, like right now, Amos, you could be in a situation where your stress levels are high. You've been traveling a lot. You've been in hotels, just saying, for example, you're not in control of what you're eating. Unless the food comes from an organic outlet, it's processed, it's, you know, not nutritious, etc. So when you find out how to really give the body what it needs so that it's intelligence, you asked how intelligent are our systems, they quite literally come built with healing mechanisms. Cryotherapy is another way. That means taking hot water, cold water showers, cold water plunges, ice plunges. We all have heard about Wim Hof. Wim Hof is his name, the Iceman. I learned his technique on how to go from hot to cold, and that activates anti-inflammatory response in the body. So if you go back thousands of years ago, hunters and gatherers, they didn't have hot water back then. They had cold showers. So there's things that we do, that we can eat, that we can do temperature-wise, that activates a free healing system in our body. So I believe our bodies are amazingly intelligent if you just understand them better. And like I say to everybody, unless you're a lizard, if you don't have a limb, and that limb is not going to grow back unless you're a lizard. If you have your limbs intact, there's a solution to help whatever issue you've got. Meaning, what I do, I can't, I've never seen someone grow a limb back. But apart from that, your body can heal itself. I've seen it myself personally. I've seen it case studies, clients I've worked with where the doctors say it can't be, it's impossible. When you understand the connection between inflammation, disease, and what creates inflammation, and remove it, your body thrives. So everybody just needs a bit of a reset.
Let's go into your story. I don't actually know your story, so let's jump.
All right. So very long story, but the very short version is I'm 43 now. When I was 23, I was diagnosed with stage 4 endometriosis. I was already living with chronic IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, from about the age of 3, had really bad immune system from when I was young. And then when I was 31, I had a spinal surgery as a result of a motorbike accident in my very early 20s. I was knocked over by a drunk rider. And I was then left paralyzed from the waist down after having a disc that completely severed the spinal cord. They had to remove it. So I had all these issues along the way. And I'm a bit of a go-getter, like, well, quite a go-getter, but if someone says you can't do something, I want to know why can't I do it? Like if someone says you can't heal that, I'm like, well, why not? And then I'll do my research. And I'm a researcher by nature. And I just got really tired over the years being told by surgeons and doctors that you're never going to walk normally again. You're never going to be, I mean, I'm 100% functioning. My only goal right now that I'm still working on is to create my own child one day. I'm still young enough, I believe. That is a setback of endometriosis. But you know what I have accomplished so far? I've reversed my diseases. I've put them into remission a few times because it happens. I cheat every now and then, come off my program. I run my own business and that's stressful. And so it happens. We're human. And the premise of my program, the bounce back body method, is learning how to bounce back each time because it's going to be more than once, especially if you have incurable conditions. And I'm saying incurable because I believe every condition is curable. It's just a matter of time. And so I'm on a mission to continuously learn what I can do to safely heal my body, keep my body clean, keep it balanced so that I can live longer, but live younger for longer, and keep my conditions in full remission. Call it a cure, call it what you want. But if I'm living symptom-free, pain-free every day, and I'm able to maintain a healthy weight, which I've also successfully kicked off 30 kilos and I've kept it off for 3 years. Wow. And no, I don't eat a lettuce and soup diet, and I love whiskey. So it's all around finding balance, rule of thumb. What is your body not liking? Get rid of it, put together a program, and then kind of try to stick to it. So that's the short version. I'm currently still on a mission to find a cure, but so far I'm ahead of most.
Wow.
I haven't actually said that out loud before, but I am. I've got my data tested. I'm a data diva. I love my data because in 2020, when I landed up in the UK, just immigrated, thought that I would have the dream life because moving from South Africa to a first world country, and then lockdown hit us all. But it really hit me because I was an immigrant stuck in the wrong country with the wrong papers, couldn't work in the UK, couldn't go back home to work because I was locked out of my borders. And then I was in hospital with all my health issues, never been sick like I was before. And then I was sent home without treatment because of the pandemic. And it actually was the best thing ever because it forced me into a corner. And if you force me into a corner, I'm going to find a way out. And for the first time, I'm a solutions provider by nature, but for the first time, I had to find my own solution. And that's what got me onto, I'm going to find my own healing solution. And that's exactly what I did. And then after 7 months, got remission, March 2021, did a post on Facebook, not a big Facebook person, went viral. Before you know it, I had 20 women all in an online clinic, different ages, different health issues. And I was just like, well, you know what? I can't charge you because I don't have the right papers. Don't want to get deported. So I'm just going to tell you what I know for free, no risk. Let's see how this goes. And everybody got great results. And I was like, I'm onto something here. If my approach to eliminating triggers that create inflammation, to cleaning up our diet based on what our body needs, testing my data along the way, and I'm actually onto something here. Who else can this help? And so what started off an endometriosis IBS solution became an approach for anybody, but specifically for women, because over the last 3 years, I've perfected it over time, learned new techniques, protocols. And so today I have my own business, which I've had now for 2 years, Essential Pharmaceuticals, F for farm, because I'm all about what's farmed, not factory made. And I'm trying to bring that word into it because I work with herbal medicine. I work with nutrition. I work with personalized elimination using our DNA because our DNA doesn't lie. And by doing that, I'm able to help each person aim with accuracy because there's no one size shoe fits all approach because we're all different. And so we need to understand exactly what our profiles are. What do our hormone levels look like? What enzymes are we missing? And so that kind of DNA I love, that kind of data I love. And that helps me put together a personalized blueprint, something that you, Amos, if you had to decide to get one or need one, you would have something that's built, engineered for your biology. And everyone gets results and it's happy days.
Happy days. I love it. It's almost Christmas, so happy days.
It is.
Good.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho. Okay, so, and you're in Empower Network TV. You've been on a first date event. How long have you been here for? A month, 3 weeks? What?
Gosh, I'd be lying if I said it was a month, maybe just a little bit less. It could be a month though. A lot's happened since then.
Okay. So who do you want to connect with here in this group?
Who? Well, I just want to connect with any woman out there. Sorry to the men, but obviously that's my speciality is helping women identify where, excuse me, where do they need to shine the spotlight. I work with a lot of coaches, actually. I find that the healers and the coaches, and that's what your wonderful network is mostly about. It's people that are coming forward, that are sharing what they do. How can they make a difference in the world? That depletes one a lot. And so I've now noticed there's a gap in the market. If I can help you and go, whoa, let me bridge your gap so that you can help serve more. Who's topping up your glass? Who's looking after your health requirements? I even have health coaches that I coach. So I find that that's where I'm going now versus trying to help everybody. So I'm trying to reach out to anybody and everybody in the group, men and women, who feel they are lost, that they have a multitude of health issues. They have been told that their life is going to look like a certain thing and they're going to be on pharmaceutical medication or whatever it is, that there is actually an approach to unlocking your innate ability to heal like a badass. I mean, it's just, I can't get more passionate about this. And the thing is, once you learn how to unlock that and you heal, you can reverse so many things within 6 months. I know because I proved it and I got the data to back it. And within 6 months, you can quite literally bounce back a full 180 turn from where you were heading until where you want to head. And then you can be a better version of yourself and you can serve more and you can give more. And, life is just happy days.
Happy days. Ho, ho, ho.
Well, now you got that in my mind. Happy days. I'm going to be walking around the house the whole time. Happy days. And I'm not, and just very quickly, I'm not against Western medicine and doctors. I wouldn't be here if it was for them. Today, I've bled out many times on the table. And so I'm all about bringing functional medicine, which is functional healing, to the forefront to actually merge with doctors. So there's always a time and a place. If you have symptoms and you're watching this and you've never been diagnosed, but you suspect, I won't be able to help you. You need to go to a Western doctor who can diagnose you. That's their lane of expertise. But after you've had your diagnosis, after you've had your surgical intervention, be it an operation, pharmaceutical medication, cool, great, you're on your way. Now, when you're doing that, you're taking all that meds to help you with the symptoms. Now you need to start looking at functional medicine, which is what I practice. That's learning how to heal the body so it functions, different realm. So when you bring those two together synergistically, you've got a great plan for healthcare and sick care, but one that actually can reverse your age. Happy days.
Fire hose me.
I've never had that before.
I know. Well, that's what it is. That's me holding the fire hose. The fireman fire hose. I'm not a fireman, but I'm assuming that's when they hold it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. So, okay. Can you links? You're gonna put those in the comments, please. After I'll be tagging you.
Yes, I do have a little freebie. It's a PDF. It's a few pages. Men and women can use it just to kind of go, right, I've got all these issues. Where do I start first? And so it's like the saying goes, you need to know which screw to turn first when you want to get things working again, because there's so many, but which one do you turn first? So it's a little PDF. It's a little step-by-step guide, 4 steps to reversing your inflammation, what areas of the body to look at first. And then in that document, there is a link if they want to reach out, book a call, get more information, they can.
Amazing.
And catch me on Facebook. I'm mostly on Facebook.
Okay. Are you guys excited about Christmas over there? Are you still in UK or?
I'm in the UK and Scotland, where it seems like a blizzard is happening outside. We're waiting for snow to come, and everybody's already put all their trees up, and it's just, it's happening. It's happy days. Ho, ho, ho. No, you've got that stuck in my head now, man.
Oh,
happy
God.
days. I am going to remember your voice as well. Don't worry, Rox. Everything will be fine. It's happy days.
All right. Well, any last words before this has been amazing.
I just am so grateful for the opportunity to, just springboard my message, just to get my message out there that much further, because people need hope. They need to know, not just hope, they need to know that there is really there is something else out there, and it's not new, it's original. It's how we always used to heal back in the day. And so just tap in, ask for more information, but don't ever let your body's actually your best doctor. It can tell you exactly what's going wrong if you just know how to listen to it. So I do symptomatic sign language. I tell you how, based on your symptoms, what's going wrong and where the root cause is. And you don't need to be a doctor even to know that. just to know where to start. So that's my really final messages. And if anybody wants to understand what aging and inflammaging means, you got to catch my interview tomorrow, 1 p.m. UK time. There'll be a link as well that I'll share, which you can just click on. It's free for 24 hours. They'll have the link up for my interview. And I dive into a little bit more about what I use in my program as well to help simulate that production, that reversing your age.
All right, well, let's get rid of inflammaging so we can have happy days, Roxanne.
And live disease-free. It's your best defense against disease.
Thanks for being here on Empower Network TV. This was a lot of fun, as usual. We've connected before, and I just love your energy. You're just, it's all like organized and compartmentalized and structured, and then delivered in a way that is easy to assimilate. So
it's how my brain works. It's very exhausting, but it works. But now you got to give the fire hose again. I mean, come on, that was really comical. I actually could feel it.
Yeah. I could feel it too. So,
all right. Amos, again, thank you so much, and don't forget, happy days.
Today's Empower Network TV. If you've been listening to Roxeanne Hardenburg, please reach out to her. She'll drop links here. What a pleasure, my dear. We'll chat soon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.